My name is Ralph Borland. I'm an artist in Cape Town, South Africa, and I'm the director of African Robots and Spacecraft. In this rough video, I'm going to describe our project Dubship I Expanded Universe, which we took to the Dakar Biennial in 2022. It combines physical sculpture with AR and VR work, and I'll tell you a bit about the background to this project. Growing up in Zimbabwe, I was fascinated by the things I would see people make and sell in the streets using available materials like wire, plastic and wood, and I would emulate these forms of street craft. And I was particularly interested in the wire cars that kids all over Africa make, and I had a go at making my own. As an adult, I went to art school and studied sculpture and made a living for a few years as a nightclub promoter and a DJ playing dub music, something I still do today. I studied interactive electronics for my master's, and I did my PhD in an engineering school, looking at design for the developing world. I brought all these interests together into African Robots about 10 years ago, and I wanted to work with some of the adults who as children in Zimbabwe had made wire cars, and now made a living making and selling wire artworks to motorists at traffic intersections in Cape Town. We set out to make new kinds of artwork that combined street craft with found electronics, and depicted local subjects like birds and insects and animals. The first piece we made together was a robot bird built around Nokia cell phone parts that flapped its wings and made sounds in response to light. And over the next few years, our pieces got bigger and more complex, and we made work all over the world. We've been to Brazil and done workshops with wire artists there. We've been to Korea. Our work has been shown in Rwanda, in the UK, in Canada. And in 2019, we made our biggest work yet, which is a 6-meter long music-making spaceship sculpture that we installed in Africa's largest contemporary art museum, the Starliner. The sculpture is titled Dubship I Starliner, and it uses dub music and science fiction to memorialize the work of Marcus Garvey, the Back to Africa activist whose Black Star Line shipping company was established 100 years ago. And we created a machine to play a version of a dub track by Fred Locks called Black Starliner. At the center of the sculpture is a revolving oil drum perforated with holes through which light shines to activate an array of mechanical strikers. This piano roll or barrel organ type device dates back around 1,000 years to the works of Al-Jazari. This controls the striking of notes inside the sculpture, including jerry cans and marimba notes, as if the cargo inside the hold of a moving spaceship was knocking against each other. And these sounds were amplified and taken through a series of old effects units, such as reverbs and delays, and out of a 1960s bass speaker. And the spaceship was installed in the atrium of the museum as if it materialized there inside the void. We used virtual reality sculpting tools and 3D modeling to design the sculpture inside a 3D scan of the museum, which we captured ourselves. And we took this information out into physical space with paper printouts for welders and wire artists to copy. When the sculpture was completed and deinstalled from the museum, we scanned it using LiDAR and created a new 3D model. We animated this and made it the center of a new artwork and virtual reality social space on the VR chat platform called Dub Club. And Dub is the name for dub music when it migrated from Jamaica to the UK and started to be made with computers rather than recordings of live musicians. Part of the stories that we tell in our work is about these kinds of technological trajectories. This VR work took place during COVID lockdown, and we wanted to create a space outside of geographical borders where people could meet each other, and we got funding from the African Culture Fund for doing this. When we took the work to the Dakar Biennial in 2022, we used another form of technology to transport the work, augmented reality, and this used the giant graphic artwork as a trigger. The work is called Transportation Through Technology, and the amazing South African comic book artist Loyiso Mkhize, who's drawn for Batman, created the poster based on our design, which tells the history of the artwork of Marcus Garvey and dub music. And when audiences downloaded the AR app, they could bring the animated scan of the sculpture from Dub Club into the space. Later that year, we got support to bring the physical sculpture by sea from Cape Town to Ghana. We got to exhibit it together with the poster. And we also got to install the poster inside Ghana's memorial to Marcus Garvey, Black Star Gate. We would love to bring the entire body of work called Dubship I Expanded Universe to Ars Electronica if there is support for that, or we can bring parts of it. We would love to see a proper staging of DigiDub Club, the VR chat world, in a custom set based on a shipping container, which we've designed. And this would match up the model of a shipping container which is in the VR chat world with a model of a shipping container life-scale model in the exhibition space. In this, we're playing on the way that shipping containers are often used in Africa in modified ways to create social spaces. We're proud to be telling African stories through a combination of local forms and global technology, and we thank you for considering our work.